In Washington, United States Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard warned lawmakers that Pakistan's evolving missile capabilities could potentially pose a future threat to the U.S. homeland. Presenting the 2026 Annual Threat Assessment before the Senate Intelligence Committee, Gabbard said Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, and Pakistan were developing advanced missile delivery systems capable of carrying nuclear and conventional payloads. She stated that Pakistan's long range ballistic missile development could potentially include intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching the United States. According to the assessment, the intelligence community expects missile threats to expand significantly, projecting global missile numbers could rise to more than 16,000 by 2035, compared to over 3,000 currently. The report also highlighted security concerns in South Asia, describing the region as a source of enduring challenges for the United States. It warned that tensions between India and Pakistan remain a risk for nuclear escalation, noting past conflicts between the two nuclear armed states and the potential for terrorist actors to trigger crisis. Beyond state threats, Gabbard cautioned that militant groups operating in South Asia continue to pose a persistent danger to U.S. interests abroad, particularly by exploiting political instability and ungoverned territories.
The United States' secure nuclear deterrent continues to ensure safety in the homeland against strategic threats. However, the intelligence community assesses that Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, and Pakistan have been researching and developing an array of novel, advanced, or traditional missile delivery systems with nuclear and conventional payloads that put our homeland within range. The IC assesses that threats to the homeland will expand collectively to more than 16,000 missiles by 2035, from the current assessed figure of more than 3,000 missiles. The IC assesses that China and Russia are developing advanced delivery systems meant to be capable of penetrating or bypassing U.S. missile defenses. North Korea's ICBMs can already reach U.S. soil, and the IC assesses that it is committed to expanding its nuclear arsenal. Pakistan's long-range ballistic missile development potentially could include ICBMs with a range capable of striking the homeland. The IC assesses that Iran has previously demonstrated space launch and other technology it could use to begin to develop a militarily viable ICBM before 2035, should Tehran attempt to pursue that capability. However, these assessments will clearly be updated as the full impact of Operation Epic Fury's devastating strikes on Iran's missile production facilities, stockpiles, and launch capabilities is determined. These nations collectively will likely seek to understand U.S. plans for advanced missile defense for the homeland, probably for the purpose of shaping their own missile development programs and assessing U.S. intentions regarding deterrence.
The assessment further addressed the ongoing war involving Iran, stating that Tehran's government appears intact but has been significantly degraded since the conflict began on February 28. Despite this, Iran and its proxies remain capable of targeting US and allied interests in the Middle East. Responding to Gabbard's remarks, former caretaker Foreign Minister Jalil Abbas Jalani rejected the claim that Pakistan's missiles could threaten the US homeland. He said the assertion was not grounded in strategic reality and reiterated that Pakistan's nuclear doctrine is India-specific and focused on deterrence within South Asia rather than global power projection. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Chief of Defense Forces and Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Asim Munir reaffirmed the country's resolve to eliminate terrorists and their infrastructure through precise intelligence-based operations. Speaking during an interaction with ulama in Rawalpindi, he stressed that Afghan soil must not be used for terrorism against Pakistan. Authorities also confirmed a temporary pause in Operation Ghazab al-Haq ahead of Eid al-Fitr, following requests from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Turkey. The pause runs from midnight March 18th to 19th until midnight March 23rd to 24th and applies unless cross-border attacks or terrorist incidents occur, in which case operations will resume immediately. Shortly after Pakistan's announcement, the Afghan Taliban also declared a temporary suspension of military operations against Pakistan. According to officials, the operation had resulted in hundreds of militant casualties and the destruction of multiple posts, vehicles, and locations across Afghanistan. On the economic front, Pakistan's currency remained stable despite nearly 3 weeks of war in the Middle East. Financial experts said the exchange rate had held steady during the fiscal year even as regional currencies weakened. The US dollar appreciated slightly in the interbank market while improved foreign reserves and steady remittance inflows supported stability. However, exporters warned that prolonged conflict would affect shipments and increase production and shipping costs. Air travel to the Middle East continued continues, though Umrah airfares have risen sharply. Separately, Pakistan International Airlines dismissed reports of a missile attack near one of its flights in Fujairah, calling the claims baseless and false. Domestically, severe weather struck Karachi, where a thunderstorm accompanied by heavy rain and strong winds killed 20 people and injured 8. Police said most casualties resulted from wall and roof collapses, debris impacts, and a lightning strike. The Pakistan Meteorological Department said a westerly weather system is affecting much of the country and forecast further rain and thunderstorms across Karachi and several districts of Sindh, with officials warning of additional lightning risks in the coming days.